Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop me a comment down below. I love hearing about from you guys, it goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, this week we are on issue 51 of Stormbringer magazine, and we get a new addition to our Gloomspite Gits range. So we have the Loon Boss on Giant Cave Squig, a pretty damn cool mini, one that I must admit I have been looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to getting going with, because it's a bit more unique, it's very different, and yeah, it just looks pretty nifty as well. So happy days there, and should be really good fun. So yeah, genuinely a mini that I've been looking forward to. So pretty damn happy with that one. And then moving into this week's issues, first off we are greeted by part 2 of The Gathering. So The Gathering is a story based on Loon Boss Claggett Blacktongue, who is on the rise. Following a victory over the Sylvaneth, this Grot commander is on the hunt for more troops. His quest takes him to the foot of Scrapper Spill, where he hopes to find an audience with Scragrot, the Loon King. So Scrapper Spill is a area in Shamon, the land of metal, the realm of metal should I say, and it kind of leads into a couple of areas. So there is a cave entrance in Scrapper Spill that led to the asylum, which is where a lot of grots lived, until most of them were kind of had the hell kicked out of them and murdered by Gotrek Gurnason in the novel Gitslayer. Obviously a little bit different from that. So this issue does feature some old grot artwork as well, which is pretty damn cool. So if I remember rightly, I've seen that on one of the Ravening Hordes books from Warhammer Fantasy. You're talking 10 plus years ago. But yeah, really cool stuff. It's nice to see some of the older artwork out for some of the fictional races that have existed longer than Stormcast and Khadron Overlords and such like. So really good stuff there. The story is pretty decent as well, so obviously the story is still to be continued and still to finish at some point. We don't know when exactly, but obviously it should be good fun. Moving on, we get our page for the Loon Boss on Giant Cave Squig. So a Loon Boss on a Giant Cave Squig bounces wildly forward at the head of many gittish hordes in squigalanches. With total contempt for their mortal peril, a Loon Boss riding such a monstrous mount inspires other grots to cheerfully mount their own squigs and hop haphazardly to war. That is a mouthful to say. Hop haphazardly. There you go. So a squigalanche, if you've never heard of a squigalanche is a bouncing muddle of squig herds, swig hoppers, boingrot bounders, mangler squigs, and all other manner of hopping terrors led from the front by a mounted Loon Boss. Squigalanches plough unstoppably through settlements or even armies that happen to be in the way. So obviously, you know, a bouncing mound of fungus creatures with mouths that can eat near enough anything is obviously a bit different, isn't it, really? But yeah, really cool stuff. And then obviously you get to do the usual, so sneaky stratagems, its origins, and the character name as well for your new Loon Boss. So pretty damn cool stuff there. And then we move on, we have our how to build guide, the Loon Boss on Giant Cave Squig. It's relatively easy. With it being hero coater, you want it to stand out though and look right, so my personal recommendation for this is dry fit every piece, and also do this in sub assemblies as well. So I personally would advise build the squig and build the grot separate from each other, and then attach them together after you've painted them, so you can get enough detail, especially on that grot, because he is hunched over the top of the squig. So you want to get in there a little bit and make sure he's got enough detail, just to kind of make it not look wrong. So, and then obviously you can get all your detail on the squig itself, so which is pretty damn cool. But otherwise, fairly easy, and genuinely that is how kind of they're suggesting to do it. I would do it that way. Obviously you are going to be left with 1 or 2 spare parts as well, so you can, if you wish to have the spear, or you can have the sword, entirely up to you how you want your loom boss on giant cave squig to look, but either way, pretty damn cool. Then obviously you got your build guide. Build guide, fairly straightforward. Now, I personally, with the squig, on the tongue of a squig especially, I would get some pink tones in there. So if you want to mix your own pink tones, if you've got some Mephiston red and some Corax white, you can mix them together. It will give you a bit more of a pinkish tone. If you want to kind of dull it down a little bit, mix it with Barrett Burgundy or something like that, and you'll get some kind of pinky tones out of it. And then you can paint up the tongue to look far better than what that one does currently. Otherwise though, it's actually not too bad of a paint scheme, and the way it works for the paint as well. Personally, I would prefer to see darker metal for the loom boss. Just a bit of a suggestion, maybe some good old one of the contrast paints. I've forgotten which one it is. Let's try and remember it if I can. Probably not. But yeah, you got some like the good old contrast paints for like darker ones, like Black Templar, Basilicanum Grey, or Black Legion over Lead Belcher. Makes it look like a very dark metal, which is really, really cool. It makes it look a bit more grimy than just normal oil can, in all honesty. Anywho, now we've got the me remembering paint names out of the way. You get your War Scroll as well for the loom boss. Does have a decent range for the actual weapons. He does have a movement of a d6 plus 7 inch as well, which is pretty damn cool, and a 4 plus save. Does have 8 wounds as well, which is pretty nifty, because it's a giant squig. It's a bit tougher, which is really cool. And then you get your tutorials of how to utilise him, whether you're using your Moon Clan Stabber, and of course to use your Gate Bouncing as well on there, which is pretty nifty. And then we get Stormcast Eternals Part A. So this is a Forces of Order kind of word of deeds and stuff such like that. So this gives you the Order battle profiles to help pick units that you may want to use in each battle to kind of get going with it, and to work alongside your War Scrolls and such like to help you kind of plan your next battle, which is pretty damn cool, and plan your armies and how to go about doing them. So whether they're hero units, troops and such like, you get that for the Stormcast Eternals, Sylvaneth and the Cadron Overlord. So this gives us pretty much everything that we're getting with the magazine. So yeah, it's not too bad, but yeah, you can have a look through that. And then you got your Cruel Boys. So this gives us our Forces of Destruction, which should list majority of the things that we're getting. So our Cruel Boys, Gloomspite Gits, and our Iron Jaws as well. So we don't get a lot of Iron Jaws, but we do get some pretty cool ones. We do seem to be very, very hero heavy for both factions, so you may want to kind of pick and choose. So you just need to kind of, yeah, change it around. Anywho, moving on, we get our new battle plan. So battle plan 1, so this is Forged in War battle pack. So this is all to do bringing in with the Cadron Overlords now as well. So and going over the lands and rusting plains of Shaman and such like as well. So we'll get new rules, we'll get additional rules as well over time to give us more for different areas and different places. And then obviously you've got a bit more freedom now. So obviously because we've been going through the magazine, it's been giving us tutorials over time. Now you get more of a choice. So for your Alliance of Order, you pick 2 heroes and 4 troop choices. Entirely your choice, so, which is pretty cool. For the Forces of Destruction, it does tell you to pick the Loom Boss on Giant Cave Squig because it's a new mini to this collection so far. 1 more hero and then 4 troop choices as well. And yeah, have your battle, which is pretty damn cool. Now, if you want to go even more fairer, obviously you would go with points value and try to match your points value to your opponent instead. So some may have more units than others and such like. And that will come in at a much, much later point of the magazine, and you can use it a lot later on. But anyway, moving on, next week, so issue 52, we get the Endrin Master with deriggable suit. There we go. That is a pain in the ass to say, and my God, it's not even proper English, is it really? Anyway, so yeah, we're going to get that soon as well, which is next week. And then the week after, we do get a paint issue. We get Stormhost Silver, we get Ogryn Camo. Stormhost Silver, a very nice bright metallic silver. You do need to shake it very, very well all the time. It separates very, very easily. Ogryn Camo, a pale green colour. Still pretty decent. In all honesty, it's still pretty decent colour. But yeah, really, really good stuff. Anyway, that is now it from me. So, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you sometime in the near future. Bye-bye now.